Hello everyone. In the rush to deploy AI and robotics, many manufacturers skip the boring part: process stability and data governance. The result is often chaos at scale, algorithms trained on bad data, making bad decisions faster than ever. In this episode, I explain why CMMI acts as the antidote to this chaos and provides the bedrock of discipline required to sustain any digital initiative. We will explore why advanced technology without process maturity is just a house of cards built on a shaky foundation. You will learn how to move from tribal knowledge, where only a few experts know the process, to institutional capability, where the process is robust regardless of who is on shift. I also discuss why investing in AI is a waste of money if your data management maturity is low, and why you must address data hygiene before buying expensive software. Tune in to discover why reaching level 3 is the sweet spot for enabling digitalization without the extreme cost of statistical rigor. Fix your data governance first. Buy the AI second.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to talk about something that I think everyone listening has seen, probably in a boardroom or, on a strategy call.
Oh, yeah.
It's the shiny object problem. You know what I'm talking about. Everyone is just sprinting to deploy the cool stuff.
All the time.
It's all generative AI, autonomous robots, predictive everything. It looks great. It looks like the future. And it sells really well in a pitch deck.
It absolutely does. And look, it's the fun part of the job, right? Who doesn't want to work on the cutting edge?
Oh, of course.
But when you look at the research we pulled for today, you see this huge, frankly terrifying disconnect between buying the shiny thing and, well, actually making it work.
And that's this idea of chaos at scale that was in the briefing.
Exactly. The core insight here is it's simple, but it's pretty brutal. If you apply high-speed algorithms to processes that are already unstable and chaotic, you don't magically fix your problems. You just end up making bad decisions faster than you ever could before. You're scaling your own confusion.
Which is the exact opposite of what you want to do. So, hey, our mission for this deep dive is to look at the antidote to that chaos.
Right.
And I should warn everyone listening right now, the solution is an acronym, and it sounds incredibly unsexy. We're talking about CMMI.
Capability Maturity Model Integration.
Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. It sounds like something out of a business textbook from, the 90s.
He does.
But the sources we have say this is actually the bedrock of modern digital discipline. So convince me. Why are we talking about a model that's been around for decades when we're trying to build the future?
Because you can't build a skyscraper on a swamp.
Yeah.
CMMI is essentially the engineering of your business process itself.
Okay.
And while the name is dry, its origin story is anything but. This wasn't invented by consultants trying to sell you billable hours. It was born at the Software Engineering Institute at Carnegie Mellon.
For the Department of Defense.
Specifically for the U.S. Department of Defense, yeah. So think about the context. We're talking missile guidance systems, fighter jet avionics.
High stakes.
The highest stakes. These are places where glitching out or rebooting the server just isn't an option. The cost of failure is catastrophe.
Right. You can't exactly move fast and break things when you're building a nuclear deterrent.
Precisely. So they needed a way to measure if a contractor actually had the discipline to deliver reliable software. But here's the pivot people miss.
Okay.
And why it matters to, say, a factory manager today. CMMI evolved. With version 2.0 and now the very recent version 3.0 from 2023, it stopped being just about code.
So what is it about now?
It's about how to run a data-driven business. It covers hardware, services, and most critically for our conversation, data management.
So it's moved beyond just a software checklist to a whole business capability model.
Right. It defines maturity. And I love how the source material breaks this down. It asks 4 really ruthless questions of any process you claim to have.
What are they?
1, do you have a standard way of doing it? 2, is that way documented? 3, is it measured? And 4, is it improving?
I feel like most companies I've ever worked with would probably answer sort of to all 4 of those. Or, we have a standard, but no one ever looks at the wiki.
Or the classic, just ask Bob, he knows how to do it.
Yes. The old Joe analogy. This is my favorite part of the reading because it is so painfully real. Walk us through the old Joe problem.
It's the classic trap. You have a critical machine on the factory floor, right? Maybe it's some old stamping press, it's temperamental. But old Joe, he's been there 30 years. He knows that if you kick it once on the left side and you jiggle the handle at exactly a 45-degree angle, it works.
That's tribal knowledge.
Exactly. And in a low maturity company, Old Joe's a hero. He saves the day. Management loves him.
Of course.
But CMMI looks at Old Joe as a single point of failure. If Joe retires or gets sick or, wins the lottery, your whole production line just stops. It's not a capability, that's a liability.
So CMMI is the bridge from that tribal knowledge, where it's all in Joe's head,
Right.
to institutional capability, where it's actually in the system itself.
That's the perfect summary. And to measure how far you are along that bridge, CMMI uses a 5-level scale. This is the industry standard for what we call process health.
Okay.
And I want to walk through these levels because I guarantee everyone listening will instantly recognize where their company sits.
Let's do it. Level 1. The sources call it initial, but you had a better name for it.
I call level 1 hero mode.
That sounds positive, but I have a feeling it isn't.
It's very seductive. In level 1, your processes are completely unpredictable. The organization's chaotic. The only reason anything gets done is because brilliant individuals, your heroes, stay late, they fight fires, and they miracle the work across the finish line.
It's the startup hustle, or just crunch time, but it's all the time.
It is.
Yeah.
And it feels good to be the hero. You get the applause, you might get a bonus. But for the business, it's a total nightmare. You cannot scale heroism.
You just need more heroes.
You need a new hero for every project. It's unrepeatable. And eventually your heroes get burned out and they quit.
So level 1 is basically chaos held together by duct tape and adrenaline.
Okay, what about level 2? Managed.
Level 2 is where you start seeing pockets of stability, but it's fragmented. We call this the silo trap.
Okay.
So your maintenance department might be amazing. They're using tablets, cloud data, everything is documented. But the logistics team right next door,
Still on paper.
they might be using paper clipboards and Excel sheets from 2005.
So, okay, within a single team, it works. But the teams can't talk to each other because their processes are. They're just on different planets.
Exactly. The data formats don't match. The cadences don't match. You're managed, but you are not connected. And that brings us to the big one, level 3, defined.
The source is called level 3, the minimum entry point for effective automation. Why is this the magic number?
Because level 3 is where your process becomes an enterprise standard. You stop doing things the maintenance way or the logistics way, and you start doing things the company way.
So everyone agrees what downtime means. Everyone agrees on what a unit of downtime actually is, yes. The data definitions are consistent.
That sounds incredibly hard to do. I mean, people love their silos. That's not how we do it in my department.
It's the hardest leap to make. It takes massive political will. But once you're at level 3, you're not relying on specific people or departments anymore. The organization itself has the capability.
And that's where you can start to scale tech.
That's where you can finally do it effectively, yes.
Okay, so level 3 is the baseline for a modern business. What's after that? Level 4, quantitatively managed.
Level 4 is where the math geeks take over. At level 3, you know that you missed a target. At level 4, you're using statistical modeling to understand why you missed it down to a decimal point.
So you're not guessing anymore.
No guessing. You have data-driven proof of any variance.
You're moving from just describing what happened to predicting what will happen.
Correct. You understand the limits of your process. You know if a variation is just noise or if it's a real signal that something's about to fail.
And then the top of the mountain is level 5, optimizing.
That's the holy grail. Continuous improvement isn't some special project. It's baked into the DNA of the organization.
So the system is learning.
The system uses all that level 4 data to self-correct and self-optimize in real time. It's an organization that learns.
Okay, so we've got the ladder. Hero mode, silos, enterprise standards, statistical control, and then self-optimization. Let me play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
I'm a CTO. I have a budget for AI. I do not have a budget for a 5-year process reengineering project. Can't I just buy the AI and let the algorithm figure out the mess?
You can try. But this is where the CMMI framework becomes like a crystal ball for your investment. We can literally predict what will happen to an AI project at each of these levels.
Okay, let's do it. Scenario 1. I'm at level 1. I'm relying on old Joe. But I buy $1 million predictive maintenance AI, what happens?
You burn $1 million, it's garbage in, garbage out. Your data is ad hoc, it's messy. The AI has nothing coherent to train on.
So the project just fails.
It fails. And usually the exec blames the tech. They say, oh, AI isn't ready for prime time. When the truth is, the process wasn't ready for AI.
Okay, level 2. I have some good teams. My maintenance silo is great. I deploy the AI there.
You made a fantastic pilot. The demo will look amazing. But the second you try to roll it out to the rest of the factory,
It hits a wall.
it hits a wall.
Yeah.
The data structures and logistics don't match maintenance. You end up in what we call pilot purgatory. cool tech that stays trapped in one corner of the building forever.
And this brings us back to level 3 being that turning point.
Right. At level 3, because you have standardized data definitions across the whole enterprise, the AI can actually see the whole picture. It can start to correlate logistics data with production data. This is where AI stops being a science project and starts being a real business driver.
That's a huge distinction. So level 1 and 2 are about surviving. Level 3 is about enabling.
And level 4 is where the AI becomes superhuman. Because you have statistical control, your data is so clean and stable that the AI can detect tiny, tiny anomalies.
So predictive maintenance gets really accurate.
Incredibly accurate. Because all the noise is gone.
And level 5.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Autonomous agents. The AI doesn't just flag a problem, it adjusts the machine parameters in real time to fix it before it even happens. But, and this is the key takeaway, you cannot have level 5 AI with level 1 processes. It's impossible.
You can't automate a mess.
You automate a mess, you just get a faster mess.
This seems to lead right into that specific framework mentioned in the text, DMM, the Data Management Maturity Model. Because you can have good manufacturing processes, but still have terrible data practices, right?
Absolutely. In the modern world, data is a strategic asset. It's just like your inventory or your cash.
But it's not treated that way.
No. Most companies treat data like a byproduct, like exhaust fumes from the real work. The CMMI-DMM is a health check specifically for that data asset.
So what are the vital signs it's looking for?
It assesses 6 big categories, but I want to flag the top 3 because this is usually where companies fall down. First is data strategy.
Meaning, do you even have a plan for it?
Do you actually treat data as capital? Is there a plan? Most strategy decks just say, we will use big data. That's not a strategy, it's a wish.
Right.
A strategy has a budget, a roadmap, an objective. The second category is data governance. This one is huge. Who owns the data?
And the answer is usually IT, right? The CIO's got it.
Which is the wrong answer. IT owns the pipes. The business owns the water flowing through them.
Okay.
If the marketing department enters bad customer data, IT can't magically fix that.
Right.
Governance establishes accountability. It forces the business to own its own data quality.
And the third one was data quality itself.
Data quality. Is your data fit for its purpose? Is it accurate, timely, complete? If you don't measure the quality, you just assume it's good. And trust me, it is almost never good.
It's like data hygiene. It's like flossing. Nobody wants to do. Everyone lies to their dentist about doing it.
Right.
But if you don't, everything eventually rots.
That is a painfully accurate analogy. And the reality check for anyone listening is, if you score low on the DMM, just stop buying algorithms.
Yeah.
Invest in the hygiene. It's boring, but it's the only way you'll get a return on investment later.
Okay, but I have to bring up the elephant in the room here. When I hear CMMI and governance and process maturity, all I hear is bureaucracy. I'm picturing mountains of paperwork and just slow grinding decision-making.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That is the classic criticism. And frankly, CMMI earned that reputation back in the early 2000s.
Especially from running an agile shop, right? I want to do sprints, I want speed. This whole thing sounds like the waterfall method coming back from the dead to haunt me.
It's a valid fear. The early versions of CMMI could be incredibly heavy on paperwork. But V2.0 and V3.0 were designed specifically to fix that.
How?
They shifted the focus from documentation to practice.
What's the difference?
Documentation is, show me the binder where you wrote down the rule. Practice is, show me that your team actually works this way. It's outcome-based.
Yeah.
And on the Agile point, this is a huge misconception. CMMI and Agile are not enemies. They're partners.
How does that even work? I mean, Agile's about flexibility, CMMI is about standardization. They sound like opposites.
Okay, think of a Formula One car. It goes incredibly fast. That's Agile.
Right.
But it has unbelievably strict engineering tolerances, safety systems, telemetry protocols. That's CMMI. You can't go 200 miles an hour in a car that's held together by duct tape.
So CMMI provides the guardrail.
Exactly. Agile is the engine that drives you forward. CMMI is the governance wrapper that makes sure moving fast doesn't mean driving off a cliff.
So it creates a definition of done that actually includes things like quality and data standards.
Precisely. It keeps agility from turning into anarchy.
But there's a cost. The source mentioned something called SCMPI appraisals. That sounds expensive.
It is. It stands for Standard CMMI Appraisal Method for Process Improvement. And it's a very rigorous multi-week audit by external certified appraisers. If you're a defense contractor, it's mandatory. If you're a mid-sized manufacturer, it can be total overkill.
Okay, so if I'm listening to this and I run a factory or a logistics firm and I'm not building fighter jets, do I need to spend $1 million on an appraisal? Do I need to be level 5?
No. And please, do not try to jump to level 5. You will bankrupt yourself trying to perfect a process that doesn't need to be perfect.
So what's the actual target then?
For most industries, the sweet spot is level 3.
The defined level.
Yes. Level 3 gets you out of the silos. It standardizes your data so you can actually use AI. It makes your business predictable and efficient. Level 4 and 5, that deep statistical rigor.
That's for the high-stakes stuff?
That's for aerospace, medical devices, places where a 0.01% failure rate is a catastrophe.
If you're making toasters, you don't need that.
If you're making toaster ovens, level 3 is perfectly fine. You don't need Six Sigma predictive control on the darkness of the toast. You just need to know the toaster works reliably.
And the sources mentioned a targeted approach is possible, too. You don't have to boil the ocean and do the whole company at once.
That is the best tactical advice from this whole discussion. You can pursue a CMMI DMM assessment, just the data part, without trying to re-engineer your entire HR or finance department.
So treat the data problem first.
Correct. Fix the data pipes. Establish the governance. That's what unlocks everything else. It's a surgical intervention, not a total body transplant.
I like that. That makes it feel actionable. Change company culture feels impossible, but fix data governance. That feels like a project I can actually scope.
It is, but, and here's the warning, even that surgical intervention requires a culture shift. You are asking people to stop being cowboys.
Which brings us right back to hero mode.
You have to look your top performers in the eye, the people who love saving the day, and you have to tell them, we don't want you to save the day anymore. We want you to follow the process so the day doesn't need saving.
That is a profound leadership challenge. You're telling them their superpower, their ability to fight fires, is actually a symptom of the company's sickness.
It is, and that hurts egos. But I fixed the machine. Yes, but why did it break in the first place? That's the shift. It is uncomfortable, but it's the only way to get from level 1 to level 3.
We have covered a lot of ground. From defense origins to the tragedy of old Joe, the reality of AI failure, and that sweet spot of level 3. Let's try to distill this. What's the one thing you want the listener to take away?
The summary is this. CMMI is not exciting. It will never be as cool as a robot dog. But it's the muscle structure that allows the robot dog to actually walk. Without those process muscles, the heavy weight of advanced technology will just crush you.
And that metric from the notes about data scientists really stuck with me.
Right. It's a statistic that should scare every single CEO. In level 1 and 2 companies, data scientists spend 80% of their time just cleaning dirty data.
80%.
80. And only 20% building models. That is an enormous waste of talent and money.
You're paying PhD salaries to do janitorial work.
Exactly.
So the call to action is basically stop cleaning, start governing.
Put that on a bumper sticker. Fix your data governance first. Buy the AI second.
That's good advice. Might save someone a few $1 million in failed pilots.
It absolutely will.
Before we wrap up, leave us with a final thought, something for us to chew on.
I want to go back to that idea of the hero. I want every leader listening to look at their team this week. Identify your hero, that person who always fixes the crisis.
Okay.
And then ask yourself, are you celebrating that person? Because if you are, you might be rewarding the very inefficiency that is preventing you from ever being able to scale. Are you rewarding the solution, or are you rewarding the symptom?
That is a tough question to look in the mirror and answer. Are we addicted to our own chaos?
Most of the time, yes.
On that note, thank you for guiding us through the world of CMMI. It's the vegetables we all need to eat.
Happy to help.
And thank you for listening. Go check on your data, see if old Joe is the only one who knows the password, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.